Dear friends, today I am going to show you a completely lethal gambit that will make you win a lot of games. It is a gambit that you can play whenever they play e4 against you, which is fantastic, because in most games, we face this move. And the good thing about this gambit is that it is with the black pieces. I bring you a few gambits with the black pieces, and this one is spectacular. The first time they played it against me, I was super stunned. I didn't even know what they were doing to me. First, we are going to start with the Scandinavian defense. Careful, we are not going to talk about the Scandinavian defense. It is a gambit that starts with the same move as the Scandinavian defense. Here, the only correct move for the white pieces is to capture this pawn, because if they do anything else, we will capture and we will be in a very good position. So what happens when they capture with the pawn? If we capture with the queen, we are already in the Scandinavian defense. Well, no, we are going to play the knight f6 variation, a spectacular variation. Without a doubt, attacking this pawn is going to bring us incredible success. Why? Because the white pieces don't know how to defend against this gambit. First, what is the most used move here, chess teacher, by the white pieces? It's the following: knight c3. They think they're defending this pawn, but they really aren't. Why? Because we are attacking it with two pieces, with the knight and with the queen. Therefore, we will continue with knight takes pawn. Here, the most used move again is knight takes knight, and now queen takes knight. Differences from the normal Scandinavian? First, we have a great queen because it cannot be kicked out. There is no knight that can kick it out. So this queen is tremendous, and best of all, it hides some tricks that are extremely difficult to stop. Our opponent won't be able to stop all these tricks. I assure you that if you are playing at an intermediate level of 2000 ELO or below, this gambit is impressive. What is the most theoretical and most used move here? d4. It makes a lot of sense. Just with a pawn in the center. Very good. And it also allows both bishops to develop. It's surely the best move. And so this is where our approach begins. Pay attention, because it's very simple. If you pay attention to this video, you'll be able to use it very well. Knight to c6. What is mate to c6 doing? Well, the first thing is obvious, right? It threatens the d4 pawn with the queen and knight. You can also use this trap if they play knight to f3 first, a common alternative. The idea is that now, if they haven't played it before, they're gonna have to play it now because we are attacking the pawn with two pieces. Pay attention to this move here because it's the key. Knight to b4, a very important and excellent move. Look, chess teacher, if you're not threatening anything, don't pull my leg. You're not threatening absolutely anything because these 2 points are well defended. Careful, the threat is lethal. What is the threat? Playing queen to e4 check, and having this queen also support the c2 point. Therefore, here we could capture knight takes c2 check and win the rook. So here, most logical moves, like a 3, trying to kick out the knight, c3, c4, or any other, don't defend anything. And we could play queen to e4, for example. The most common move here is c3, fortifying the center and threatening the knight. And here, logically, they've already fallen into the trap. By the way, I have the best news in the world, and I'm going to show it to you right now. Check out what I have here. My new book is now available. I'm so excited. I'm going to stand up to show it to you properly, because you're gonna love it. Check this out. This is my new book, The Secrets of Real Progress, available in Spanish and in English too, in both languages. I'm going to explain it to you because it's spectacular. This book has 3 phases. THR 3 parts, okay? It's like 3 books in Molden. In the first part, this one right here, I explain the difference between the players who progress and those who don't progress in chess. So many years of experience have been useful for something, and I'm going to capture it in this book so that you can be that small percentage of players who do progress. Here are all the keys. In the second part, I teach you how to improve your tactics. Look, all of this, tactics are what decide the vast majority of chess games, and I'm going to teach you how to recognize the patterns and how to apply them correctly to win many games. And the third part of the book is the most fun of all. A massive training session. Pay attention. What is this massive training session about? Well, I've set up situations from real games, moments where one of the two sides can win the game with a tactical theme, and you're gonna have to solve them. So I've put it into 100 examples for you. You're gonna have 100 examples to practice with. It's a super practical book. Spectacular or what? And at the end, you have the solutions, obviously, but see if I can reach it. Here you have the solutions. I've made this book available in physical format, meaning you'll be able to buy it so that it arrives at your house like this, as a normal everyday book, okay? Or also, if you want it a little bit cheaper, in digital format. So you can download it immediately, right upon purchasing it, and you'll have it available digitally for your computer, your tablet, your phone, wherever you want, okay? And really, both options are very well priced, whether you want the book for your home or if you want to download it digitally. I'm going to leave the links down here in the description so you can get it both digitally and physically, okay? Oh, and in both Spanish and English. You're going to love it, I assure you. This book is a great key to start progressing for real, as the title itself says, in chess. Right, how should we continue? Let's get to the most important part. With Queen e4. You remember what we were threatening here, right? Right. We are threatening this whether they block with one bishop, the other, or the queen. The threat remains the same. Let me explain. If they block with the bishop, it's very simple. Check and I take the rook. And if they come with the queen, really? Don't worry, it's the same thing. They aren't threatening your queen if we give a check first. Check, they must move the king. We trade queens, important, huh? We trade queens first, and then we capture the rook, okay? This is what's important. For example, the most normal thing is for them to block with the bishop, we jump with the knight, check, and we take the rook. And the good thing about this line isn't just that we take the rook, which we do, but there's something better. On top of that, they won't be able to win this knight back from us. Let me explain, because this is very interesting. Now then, if they try to capture this knight, for example, by moving the bishop to attack it, we can always retreat to the c2 square because it's defended by the queen. And here's a little trick I'm going to show you now. Also, if you want, you can play queen d5 attacking this point, capture it, and then bring the knight out here, okay? But pay attention to this little trick. They threaten your knight. Okay, we try to move it out. Now there's a move that seems to win the piece back, bishop b3, because it threatens the queen and threatens the knight, both pieces at the same time. If you move the queen back, they'll take our knight. The idea is that here we have knight takes bishop, check available, and when they capture, queen takes pawn. But there's a much more fun move, huh? Which is the one I always play when they try to win my knight, and that is queen takes bishop. Look at this beauty. We sacrifice the queen, right? They have to capture no matter what, because otherwise they're going to lose another piece. And then knight takes pawn check, and I'm going to take their queen. For example, in this position, as you can see, if we count the material, we have 2 rooks and 2 pieces against 1 rook and 2 pieces, a piece of advantage. And now the line I'm going to show you is super, super, super important. Pay attention. There is a way for the white pieces that seems to save them. It seems, anyway. Let's review first, because this is important. e4, d5, how we got here? Pawn takes pawn, and instead of capturing with the queen, we played knight f6, knight c3, we capture, and after the exchanges here, they can play either knight f3 or d4 first, knight c6, attacking this pawn with 2 pieces, knight f3 defending. And now the key move, knight b4. Alright, first of all, you need to know one thing. For example, with c3, there is a way that it seems white saves themselves. After this check, queen e4, check, the correct move for the white pieces seems to be king d2. Strange move, right? Moving the king toward the center? But look, if we understand the threat that was knight c2, this move is excellent. It's a very functional move because it moves the king out of check and defends the c2 square for the knight very well, both with the king and the queen. Chess teacher, has my attack ended here? No. First of all, good news for those of you with a poor memory, huh? There is a line here to force a draw if you want. You simply give check. The king cannot come here because the knight is there. It must go back to either e1 or e2. It's the same thing because we are going to give check. And here, if you want, you can keep repeating it the whole time, and this will be a draw by the triple repetition rule. Now, for those of you who are like me, who want to win the game and also troll your opponent a little bit, you have a move available here that is spectacular. Pay attention. E6. Let's see, chess teacher, you're going completely crazy. You're hating your knight. What is happening here? Well, this is going to be the mistake that will end up costing them the game. Why? Because if they take the knight, bishop takes pawn, it's nothing more and nothing less than checkmate. With the bishop and the queen, we don't let the king escape anywhere, and there's no piece that can block the check. Therefore, this would be checkmate. Spectacular, right? And now comes a very important part of the video, which is when they play c4 against us. What do I have to do, chess teacher, if they threaten my queen? I'll show you. e4, d5, pawn takes, knight f6, knight c3, knight takes d5, queen takes d5, d4, knight c6, knight f3. Switch to locomotive mode here, huh? I went fast, didn't I? The idea is that we're going to play knight b4, right? We've seen that if they play c3, a3, or something else, we're going to play queen e4 and we're going to win here. But what happens if they threaten my queen directly? Alright, let's stop and think for a moment. Let's reason it out. They're threatening our queen, yes, but we already wanted to move the queen, right? We wanted to play queen e4, check, right? Whether they block with the bishop, the other bishop, or the queen, it's the same, right? Knight c2, check, and I take the rook. Now what happens? We already know that the move that seems to escape is king d2. And now things change a little bit. It changes a little because now we can no longer force a perpetual check because the king escapes. So what do we have to do here? It changes a little, but don't worry, it's very simple. The idea is that here we are going to do the following. We are going to play bishop f5. A move that keeps tightening our position. Don't tell me it's not wonderful. It's true that we don't have a checkmate or anything like that right now, but the opponent's king is in the center of the board, very poorly placed, and our pieces seem perfectly positioned, don't they? Both the queen and the bishop are attacking this point, which, together with the knight, threatens knight c2 again, threatening the rook and also this pawn here, which is going crazy. Do you see it? So, what should white do here? Careful, let your alarms go off, because here the opponent has a single move that seems very aggressive. Let me explain. Queen to a4 is really the only move that proposes any kind of counterplay, but don't worry because we are winning here. Let me explain. Right, they check us and take our knight. Don't worry, we move the knight back, and on top of that, they pin our knight and can keep threatening us. Our opponent here is going to rub their hands together and say, it's impossible for them to beat me, I'm going to win a piece. Don't worry, we are completely winning here. Many of you must be thinking, I'll castle, right? Long castle, I place the rook here, and they can't capture it because this pawn is pinned. Well, this wouldn't be a bad idea, but there is a much better idea. The idea is to play e6 directly. Why, chess teacher? You're going crazy again and leaving your knight hanging. Well, yes, and in fact they have to capture it, because if they don't, we'll capture this pawn, and after pawn takes pawn, queen takes pawn, we've won a pawn, the king is in terrible shape, the bishop is going to come in with check, the enemy is in terrible shape, or rather the opponent is in terrible shape, pardon my expression, and on top of that, we're a pawn up. So there's nothing better here than to accept the sacrifice and take this knight. Oh, my friend, you've dug your own grave. Now, long castling is a fascinating move. Why? We put the king in check. It can't be blocked by the knight because we would capture it, nor by the bishop because we would capture it. So there is only one solution here. And what is it? The king has to escape to king 3. There's no other way, do you see? And then there's a really great move here, huh? Let's see if you're able to find it. I'm just going to give you 3 seconds. 1, 2, and 3, which is rook to d3 check. They can only capture with the bishop. And now queen takes bishop would be checkmate thanks to this bishop that cannot, or rather doesn't, let the king escape. And this would end up being checkmate. So this gambit is going to allow you to win a lot of games with black. Save this video so you don't lose it, because otherwise you're going to say, where was that really good video from Chess Teacher? And you'll never find it again. Save it well, okay? Give it a big like if you enjoyed it, and above all, pay attention, because this really is good news, huh? You have this book available, which I am completely convinced will help you make real progress in chess. I've written it really well. Easy for everyone to read, you're gonna love it. And it's fun too, because it has a practical part that you'll be able to study for a very long time. You know, right? Available in physical format if you're one of those people who likes to receive it at home and have the physical book, or in digital format, which is even cheaper, okay? And you'll also have it available forever. So I'll leave it for you in the description, and you can choose between Spanish or English, physical or digital. I hope you loved this video. Leave a big like if you want more videos like this. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos, and we'll see you tomorrow, as always, in the next video, friends. Bye.